This is Boomer Life on AM 650.
Welcome back to Boomer Life on AM 650. My name is Simone Greywall. Today we're focusing on getting energized. Joining me in studio, Greg Semkuley, who is the sales manager at Enerex Botanicals, and Carol Kareena, who is a nutritionist and health journalist. We've been talking about this product called Greens and just being able to eat healthy, focusing on our diet to really become energized. So what are some key things you should be avoiding in your diet? What are things that are pulling us down or really sucking the energy out of us?
Right. Well, actually, what you don't eat and drink is just as important as what you do eat and drink for energy. And unfortunately, the two things that we tend to grab when we're low in energy, caffeine and sugar, is the things we should actually stay away from. Caffeine, it actually stays in your system for 8 to 12 hours. And too much caffeine can increase your cortisol, which is your stress hormone. And that leads to low energy again, because if you've got low or high stress, that tends to sap your energy. And caffeine actually also acts kind of like an amphetamine, like a drug, that it increases dopamine and epinephrine. These are, again, the neurotransmitters I was mentioning, but it does it in a very different way. It's very stimulating, and it tends to spike them, and then they crash. And we know it's like a sugar crash as well. They crash, and then you lose all your energy. So that's not going to work with caffeine. And sugar is, like I just mentioned, often low energy is caused from eating sugar or processed carbs. Processed carbs like your potato chips and your white flour, they act just like sugar in your system. Your body actually can't tell the difference. So, and these are highly addictive because they send your blood sugar skyrocketing. And then, of course, they send it crashing back
down
to the pavement, yes, because of a hormone called insulin. And it takes about 2 hours before you're crashing back to the pavement with sugar. So I would say an alternative, to your morning pick-me-up with coffee and sugar is green tea. It's got about a third of the caffeine that coffee has, and it's got a lot more antioxidants in it. And even a greens powder, if you have it in a smoothie for breakfast, because it's got nutrients that actually boost your energy naturally rather than these stimulants. And chlorophyll, like in green veggies and grasses and seaweed, they also help to boost your energy. And these greens aren't, they're not sweetened with sugar. They're sweetened with berries and other fruits. So you're not going to get that high spike in your blood sugar.
Now, with the greens product, we mentioned making smoothies. Are there other things you can put the product into?
Well, smoothies are the popular way to do it. You could take it just on its own. It's great taste in that way. As Carol mentioned, you can get it plain, and people like that grass natural taste to it, or with the mixed berry in there as well, too. The mixed berries also provide a lot of antioxidants. And so, again, we're looking for staying younger. It means to be able to stay younger, and antioxidants are part of that, staying healthy and, damage to the body done by oxidation. So, the berries are very, very good for that as well, too. But, smoothies are the most popular way of doing that. Protein shake if you're a fitness buff or an athlete, or just adding a little bit of protein supplement to the meal as well, too. Throw it in
I
with
put
your
it in my
fitness
hummus
shake.
once,
Sure,
actually.
sure.
Makes it green hummus, but it really worked well.
Neat.
You hide it.
You hide it. I was just going to say, because even we're talking about caffeine, and sometimes the taste of green tea is not very enjoyable to some people because it's different. And a lot of times with even our coffee, we're dumping cream in it, we're dumping sugar in it, and like you said, you're good for that little while, but you do feel that crash coming down off of it. What are some other things we can be avoiding in our diet?
Well, I don't know.
So those
but
are kind
avoiding
of the
in your
main.
lifestyle, absolutely. There's some things like drinking water. So many people don't drink their water, and they need to. And that actually really helps with bowel movements. I know we don't talk about bowel movements in polite society, but they're so important for your energy. We all know that if you're a little bit constipated, it tends to really drag you down and make you become sluggish. And I would say that if you're a little bit sluggish, if you're not having a bowel movement every day, then you should
Up your water intake,
yes,
definitely.
definitely up your water intake and a little bit of fiber. And I mean healthy fiber, not necessarily wheat bran. I would say more healthy types of fiber like aptopectin and a rice bran. And again, the greens, they actually have several things in the contents that help to keep you regular. Cleansing herbs and probiotics and these type of things. You'll find if you start taking it for 2 or 3 days, you'll notice that you become far more regular.
Now, Greg, with the product of the greens, is this something for people that are busy on the go? It'd be good to kind of pack along with them to take, so you can use it into the office. You can just mix it in with water and things like that if you're not able to kind of get everything planned for the day.
It's something that can be taken any time of the day. So again, people's lifestyles are different. So I've come across a lot of people that like their smoothie in the morning, as we just mentioned. So add it into that and you've got your great start for the day. Very easy to take before lunchtime. So take it with you to work. You can have a jar there in your desk or at the office, in the lunchroom. Mix it up there before lunchtime. You could have it, I typically tend to use it about 3:30, 4 o'clock when you feel after lunch and you kind of not quite there for dinner yet. So it's a great time just to get that pickup to kind of finish the day off or whatever activities you have for the evening to go. So really any time. I probably, because it is an energizer, maybe wouldn't take it before going to bed or having it as a late night drink, but any of those other times, it's really a good time to take.
And that's probably the key factor right now. People are not planning their meals, so it is easier to almost grab something that's quick on the go and fast food or a snack from a vending machine and things like that. So that's a huge part of, planning your day, is being able to prepare your meals if you are on the go and having healthy options around.
Absolutely. So you can have it. It's available in a jar. You can take a scoop or tub from that, but it's also available in sachets, bags, and sample bags as well too. So you could grab a couple of those and just throw those into your gym bag or throw them into your briefcase, take to the office, and then you're good to go.
It's also gluten-free, this product?
It is, and even though in this product we have things like barley or kamut, which are quote unquote, full of gluten, it's a matter of when these products are actually harvested. So the key factor to have this product and make sure that it is gluten-free, but really to get the nutrient profile out of these products as well too, in these plants, it's to harvest them at the pre-bud stage or the pre-sprout stage. So this is the stage when the plant is actually very young. It only grows up a few inches before the bud or the seed is actually started to grow. It's that point, that's where gluten is formed in the plant. So in this case, we're taking the plant, we're growing them in a very unique environments in a place in southeast Utah, and there it's in an old volcanic bed. That's where a lot of the plants are grown, on an old volcanic bed, and in particular the alfalfa that has very, very long, deep roots that go down to 80, 90, 100 feet. And so in this volcanic bed, it actually has the ability of these roots to go down to that level to pull all the trace minerals out of that. And that's what you want. It's very, very mineral rich. This alfalfa plant will bring a lot of those minerals up from the soil. But we're growing those plants and then cutting them at a very low level before that pre-bud stage so the gluten is not formed in the plant. And then they're actually juiced. And that's a big difference than having a plant like that that is then cut and dried, in which case you're really just getting a lot of the dried outside cell wall, the cellulose fibers of the plant, which, as we were just talking about earlier about conservation, has a benefit itself. But really you want the nutrient density what's inside the plant. So by juicing them, you're able to extract a lot of those great nutritious compounds out of it. And it's a lot easier for our body as well to then absorb it and bring it into the body that makes it actually usable. So that's what does make it gluten-free, is making sure we're harvesting it at the right part, before gluten is actually formed in the plant.
Now, if you're somebody who eats your vegetables, how can you benefit from taking greens? Is there still, like Carol, you mentioned earlier, some people aren't getting enough of what they need. But typically, what kind of person should get this kind of a product? Age group, it doesn't matter, or?
I think it doesn't really matter. We're seeing people of all ages, from the very young, a few years old, 3, 5 years old, taking it. And again, if you start young, then they get the taste again for those non-salty, non-sweet foods. But I'm really seeing a lot. We see a lot of people at the consumer shows that we tend to participate in. Geez, anyone who really is in that boomer age, 55, 65, 75, they love their greens. They have it in the morning. They've got their smoothie. Either they mix it in with their yogurt or make their shake. anyone can really take it. We get other athletes, for example, who today we just, we finished with the Olympics not too long ago, and these athletes who are putting their effort in, and we're measuring differences between first, second, third, and fourth, whether you get a medal or not, by hundredths of a second's difference. So athletes are looking for the differences between their performance. And we have athletes that use this product as well to give them that energy, to give them that oxygenation, to provide them with those nutrients that their muscles and their bodies and their nerve impulses need. So it's a great one for athletes as well, too, to help with their performance enhancement without any stimulants or drugs that would not be appropriate for them. So like I say, anyone, seniors, teenagers, same thing, give them that energy where they're staying up late and dragging up to get out of bed in the morning. So it's really a good product for them as well, too, because there's lots going on with their body between hormone changes, mental fatigue from their studying, especially if they're teenagers and going to school or university as well, too. So it's a great energizer for them.
And exactly, and you might see teens reaching for caffeine or those special energy drinks and things like that. So this is a greater alternative because it really starts when you're young to try to make these healthier choices. So the older you get, you know to how to find ways to eat those healthier foods and keep yourself energized.
Absolutely. So I think there's different ways we look at those stimulants. Those are the quick fixes out of it. But I've always seen energy to be possible from two different ways. First is to get rid of the things that are holding you down, that are dragging you down. And we've talked a little bit about that today with the bad food choices or better food choices that you could make. And then thinking of things that actually give us sustained energy rather than those quick fixes. And that's what a product like Greens really, really does for you, is give that sustained energy. And that's far better for your body long term.
Lifestyle is a very important factor when it comes to energy and things you could be doing. You're listening to Boomer Life on AM 650 with Simone Greywall, and today we're focusing on getting energized. In studio with us, Greg Semkuley, the sales manager at Enerex Botanicals, and Carol Kareena, who is a nutritionist and health journalist. And when we come back from this break, we're going to chat a little bit more about things you could be doing in everyday life to help you feel energized. Stay with us.
It's all about the baby boomer lifestyle. Boomer Life on AM 650.